Hey everybody, welcome to Rebel Junk. My name is Erin. Today's unloved and unwanted junk comes to us from sales on eBay and one on Mercari. This is going to cover about 3 weeks from February 8th until February 28th. Let's get started. This first up is a little dish that I got in is that in a lot? I don't think I would have picked this one up by itself, so I'm gonna guess that this was from an auction lot, and so I probably have $1 or less into it. It was a vintage ceramic open hands trinket dish, and it sold for $10.99 plus shipping. Up next is a really nice sale. I bought these candlesticks. Okay, up next was a set of candlesticks that I bought in an auction lot. The entire lot cost me $8. These candlesticks were marked with an Italian Carrara marble sticker down at the bottom, and comps online were a little bit above 100. I priced mine a little bit lower because one of the glass teardrop shapes was a different size than all the others, which I thought was kind of strange, and I did note that in the listing. But the pair sold for $100 plus shipping. This next order actually ended up being canceled. This is one of those issues with eBay that plagues a lot of resellers right now. So a buyer sent me an offer. I accepted it. They didn't pay. I filed a non-paying customer, and they sent me a note that said, hey, I found this somewhere else with free shipping. And so they just weren't going to pay for the one they agreed to purchase from me, which... I mean, it was $13. It's not a big loss. I relisted it, but it was just super frustrating. So anyhow, I left that in here on this list of items that technically sold, but then had to be relisted. Up next was a multiple item purchase of the light bulbs. And this was a total of 26 of the light bulbs for a best offer of $89 plus shipping. I have hundreds of these light bulbs and a lot of varieties left, so if you know anybody that is looking for glimmer lights, let me know. Next was a pair of jeans that I've had for quite some time. I bought them because they were new with tags. I'm pretty sure I got these for 99 cents at the Salvation Army sale, and they finally sold a year later for about $24.99 plus shipping. Next was from a large auction haul. The entire haul cost about $1,000 that weekend. This was a box of Princess House Fantasia crystal plates, and these are the ones with the center, where the center portion is frosted. And so I did note that in the listing. This set sold for $44.99 plus shipping. Next up is a Hallmark pen and pencil set. These were made out of walnut, and they did have a small logo carved into the side of them, which I could not figure out what it was. So I noted that in the listing that it was an unknown logo on there. The box set sold for $25 free shipping. The gentleman that purchased these, I said, hey, do you happen to know what that logo is? And he said, no, but I'm going to research it. And I said, well, if you figure it out, I'm super curious, let me know. So we will see if that ever gets figured out. Next up was a piece of pottery I picked up at the local Goodwill. I'm guessing it was either $2 or $3. It was a Tonala, Mexico Pottery Bird, and it had been hand painted. This one stuck out to me a little bit for 2 reasons. One, it had the KE initials for Ken Edwards, and the wings on this bird in the turquoise color was a little bit unusual. So I priced it high compared to other items of this size that had sold, and it was purchased for full asking price at $19.99 plus shipping. Up next was a basket that was in the $1,000 auction haul, and this basket ended up selling for $59.99 plus shipping, which was my full asking price, and it was only listed, I want to say maybe 1 or 2 days before it was purchased. It kind of stood out to me when I was searching through this auction online and looking at the pictures, a basket in the shape of a jar with a lid in the coil pattern like these were made was somewhat unusual, plus the large handle on it. So I'm pretty sure this is why I bid on the lot that this basket was in. I didn't know what it would sell for. I couldn't really find out a whole lot about it until I got it home and did some more research on it. But the buyer sent me a really nice note. Overall, it was a good sale. I feel like I haven't had a single just cut and dry sale for most of this month. Everything's had an issue or a story. This one's no different. So I had this cast iron water heater stand. It was missing some pieces, but I had seen that they still sell even with the missing parts. So went ahead and listed mine at what I thought was a fair price. And this buyer kept sending me messages that I had it priced too high, that, you know, they had purchased some elsewhere that cost less. My shipping was too high. And I said, that's fine. Send me an offer. He kept asking, how do I do that? I said, you know, it's on the listing. You just have to, you know, click on send offer. So finally got tired of hearing about it, and I just took the listing down and I blocked the buyer. So a week later, I went ahead and put the listing back up. Well, I thought I had blocked the buyer, but apparently not. And so they came back with another message and said, would you do $45 free shipping? And I said that was fine. And it was an acceptable offer. It was absolutely fine. So I edited my listing so that the listing said $45 plus free shipping. Buyer bought it. I packed it up, sent it out. A few days later, I got the strangest message wanting to know why I had put extra motorcycle parts in with the hot water heater stand. And did I do that just so I could charge more shipping? Which was strange because it was technically free shipping and I shipped it in a flat rate box. So even if I had put extra, which I didn't put extra parts in there, if I had, it wouldn't have changed the price of the shipping. So I messaged the buyer back and I said, listen, I sent the parts, the hardware, and that was it. That's all I put in the box. I said, if something arrived in the box other than those items, you need to contact eBay or the U.S. Postal Service and let them know that your box has been tampered with. And I haven't heard anything since. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, it sold. I keep kind of waiting to see if I'm going to get a bad feedback or a return request on that one, which neither of those have happened yet. So I guess we'll see. Next, I had a buyer purchase 2 of the glass flowers that I've been selling off. And those were already in the profit. One flower did break on the way there. And the buyer sent me a picture of the very obvious break in the red flower and a picture of what they called a hairline fracture in the blue flower. And I said, well, I'll refund you for the red one. I'll, you know, make an insurance claim. I said, but the blue flower, if you're not happy with the condition, you'll just have to send it back to me. And so I went ahead and sent them a refund for the red one and advised them to, you know, open a return request for the blue flower. And they wrote back and they said, no, you know what? It's okay. We'll just keep it. So I said, that's fine. And I got a positive feedback on that one. So those had sold for $15 and $14 with a total of $5.95 for shipping. And when I did the refund for the red flower, I refunded them the $15, I think, but not the shipping. And so they were fine with that. Next, these were the mugs from a set of dishes I picked up. The Mikasa Country Classics Fruit Panorama set, 3 mugs, sold for a total of $20 plus shipping. That one was straightforward, thank goodness. So a couple weeks ago, I went through and I got rid of all the clothing that I was selling just because I don't like selling clothing, except for things that I had that were new with tags. This was one of them. New with tags, Gap men's medium button-down shirt. It sold for $22.99 plus shipping. This next piece cost me about $1 at an estate sale. It was a vintage pocket Faber-Castell slide rule and it was in German, and it sold for $34 plus shipping. I sold another set of the HO scale model train accessories. This lot was a set of picnic tables and also cemetery memorials. So the two packages together sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Next was a LuLaRoe shirt. I've been selling these off for quite a while. This one went for $15 plus shipping. This next piece I believe was free. I know I did get it in a box with some other items, but I think this was just kind of an extra item that they threw in for me. It was a vintage home interiors Coca-Cola general store print that was already framed. It sold for $15.20 plus shipping. Next, I can't remember where I picked up this miniature bronze horse, but it was just a couple inches tall and it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. I can't remember if that was in the $1,000 auction haul or the one prior to that, but either way I didn't pay much for it, $1 or less. Next was this piece of art glass that appeared to be Murano or Murano style. It was very well made, had the smooth bottom on it, and it sold for $22 plus shipping. I do have one more of these in a slightly darker blue, and these were in a lot that I believe I purchased for $15. Yep, these were in a lot that I purchased for $15 at an estate auction. That was the same estate that I purchased the coil. No, it wasn't. What else did I get there that sold this week? Oh, the candlesticks. So these came from the same estate where I purchased the candlesticks. Another set of HO scale model train accessories. And this was a set of 3 and they sold for $14.99 plus shipping. I did have an extra small partial pack of some railroad crossing signs that I went ahead and threw in with this set, and the buyer left me a positive feedback and thanked me for the extra pieces. I sold a pair of LuLaRoe leggings for $14 plus shipping. This little wristlet wallet purse that I sold, it was from Cato, which is a fairly inexpensive retail store, but this pattern of this particular wristlet wasn't I couldn't find any other listings for this one, so I did price it a little bit higher. I did decline a few lowball offers and finally sold at $15 plus shipping, which I was happy with that because I either purchased it for $1 or $4, depending if my Goodwill had listed it as a wallet or a purse, and I can't remember which one it was, but either way, decent profit. Next, from the same estate with the Murano glass swan and the candlesticks, was a Northwood Carnival glass stretch fancy flower vase with a feather pattern in the Alaskan colorway, and it sold for $37.50 plus shipping, and I'm pretty sure that was a best offer. I think I had it listed somewhere around $40. So it wasn't much of a discount, but maybe I had listed it at $45. Up next was my most recent auction haul that I picked up a couple weeks ago. I think I had about $125 into everything that I purchased there. This was the first sale. It was a TI-89 graphing calculator. And so I've seen several resellers on YouTube talk about these, and so I knew it was decent when I saw it in the picture. What I didn't realize is that this calculator, new in the package, was about 20 years old. And so when I listed it, I just listed it, as a current version of the TI-89, but the person that purchased it recognized it as an older model and went ahead and purchased it because that's what they had been looking for, and left me a very nice positive feedback. And they were super curious where I had found an item like that was still in the package. And so I did let them know that I, picked it up at an auction. So I think I still priced it correctly. It was still about the same as all the other new and packaged TI-89s were going. And I don't think that because it was vintage, it would have commanded any higher price than that. Next was a sale through the global shipping program, a set of books from Anne of Green Gables. This is book 4, 5, and 6 in paperback. They were, however, in their own box sleeve. They sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Up next is an item that I had 2 of, and I thought that they were kind of odd, but I guess, you know, advertising has changed over the years. And these were from back in the 50s. It was an advertisement from a local funeral home. And it was a fan with an image of the Last Supper on it. And I had it listed, I think, at $10, and I took a best offer of $6.80 plus shipping. Next was a flower frog. However, the packaging was in German. And so this is from an auction that I've picked up a lot of things. And if you hear me say, I should probably name that auction because I've sold so many things. Typically the items that I purchased at this auction, I'm sorry, it wasn't an auction, it was an estate sale. So the items that I purchased at this estate sale mostly were $1 and under, and that was because I made a large lot and made an offer, and my offer was at about $1 an item. So I'll have to think of we should just call it the German estate sale, because the folks had lived in Germany. Although they were American, their work had taken them there and brought them back. Excuse me. And so a lot of the things that I did pick up there were from German stores that they had purchased while they were there and brought back with them. So anyhow, we're going to call this the German estate sale. And this was a flower frog, and it sold for $9 plus shipping. It was tiny, just, you know, a couple inches across. So okay, so last summer, and I would say probably more towards the end of summer, I stopped at a garage sale with my mom, and the family was getting ready to close up, but she went ahead and let us look through there, and there was a box with an Easter Village collection in it. So sort of like you would put out at Christmas, you know, a Christmas village where all the buildings are lighted up, except this was an Easter village. And she sold me the whole box for $15. I think I sold 4 lots already, and I have 7 more listed. This first lot sold for $19.99 plus shipping. And then the next lot sold for $14.99 plus shipping. So at this point, I'm in the profit on that one. The same lady that bought the trellis also bought this set of the Cottontail Cottages bridge and flower stand, and that was a set for $9.99 plus shipping. She did end up coming back again and buying the gazebo, which I think was another $10 to $15. So the $125 auction from this past weekend, I bought a large lot of teacups and saucers, and this was the first one to sell. It was a Wedgwood Peter Rabbit cup and saucer with no chips, cracks, or crazing in the glaze. It sold for $19.99 plus shipping. So here is the gazebo, and it did sell for the $10 plus shipping. I also sold the Cottontail Cottages Village Easter School, and it was a lighted ceramic tree house, and it sold for $12.99 plus shipping. And the last sale this month was, this is from the same estate sale with the glass swan and the candlesticks, and it is a vintage eagle gooseneck lamp, and we almost left this behind. So we got in the car and we were going down our list of everything that we had packed up, and I said, hey, wait, I forgot something. So when we did go back in to pick this up, by the way, they ended up asking us if there was anything in this other closet that we wanted that we could have for free, and so we did end up picking up a few extra items that day for free. But this one sold for $39.99 plus shipping. Okay, so the lot that the lamp came in was with some other office supplies and games, and that whole lot I purchased for $12. And that is it. Holy cow. That was a decent amount of sales for me, and you know, most of the sales were above the threshold where I like to be, with about a $10 profit. So yeah, I'm happy with the sales for the rest of this month, and hopefully coming up in the rest of March, I will have more of the $1,000 auction haul that I can show you, and also my most recent estate auction sale pickups. So I'll need to get those brought in from the garage. However, it has been freezing cold in Northwest Ohio, and so when I've brought things home recently, I've kind of stashed them in the garage and not gone back out to get very many of them. Only just a couple here and there. So hopefully I will have that for you soon. And until I see you again, take care. What do you want? Hey, everybody.